हाँ वरना स्टार्ट करिए।
Yeah. जी sir. A very good afternoon to all present here. Welcome back to yet another interesting session in our 12th online faculty induction program organized by Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya Jabalpur. And I'm truly honored to welcome our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Neha Arun Hariyani. Madam Hariyani is presently working as an associate professor in English at SB Garda Arts and PK Patel College of Commerce, Navsari. She is an accomplished and dedicated academician with over 25 years of professional experience in teaching English language, literature, soft skills. She has completed her bachelor's from SB Garda Arts and PK Patel College of Commerce, Navsari, and master's from Veer Narmat South Gujarat University, Surat, Gujarat. She's been awarded doctorate by Pacific University, Udaipur, Rajasthan, on her thesis entitled A Spiritual Journey as Reflected in the Selected Works of Paulo Coelho and Robin Sharma, wherein she analyzed the works of Paulo Coelho and Robin Sharma in light of A Hero with a Thousand Faces, a seminal work by Joseph Campbell, a renowned American anthropologist, mythologist, psychoanalyst of the 21st century. Dr. Hariyani is a motivational speaker certified by IAP Career College USA. A motivational speaker, she has revolutionized the lives of many through her impenetrable zeal, perseverance, and unique techniques. Besides, she is also an image consultant for personal and professional image building, certified by International Association of Professions Career College USA. Her unique contribution as motivational speaker and image consultant accords her a prominent role as an interpreter of culture from the Eastern to the Western and vice versa, thus inspiring her students to understand, appreciate, and interchange both the cultures. Dr. Hariyani has visited number of countries like USA, UK, Schengen countries, Singapore, Malaysia, Africa, and the UAE in the quest for her stupendous objectives and achievements. She has a wide experience of personal, public, corporate, and educational institutions in image building for both in depth and broad based representations. Her expertise includes etiquette as corporate communication, personal style skills, presentation skills, dressing etiquettes, wardrobe shopping strategy, interview facing and teaching skills, motivation, stress management, public speaking, soft skills, and total personal makeover. She has attended pioneering flagship international faculty development program in UK organized in collaboration with the British Deputy High Commission and Government of Gujarat in 2018. On her return to India, she along with her fellow participants were facilitated by both Mr. Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister of India, and Mr. Vijay Rupani, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat. She is a teacher educator in national level and refresher programs for college teachers organized by UGC HRDC of India. She has prepared many modules as subject matter expert, e-content developer, and presenter on the MOOC platforms like Swayam and various faculty development programs. She has conducted many corporate workshops, business etiquette, personal and professional image building, corporate culture and networking, business communication, networking through personal image, and also been invited as a speaker at Rotary clubs and corporate sectors. She is appointed as member of Task Force 2021 of Veer Narmat South Gujarat University for implementation of National Education Policy 2020. She is also on the advisory board of Perception, an international multidisciplinary research journal. Dr. Hariyani has also presented papers in national and international conferences and have published research papers in reputed journals. Madam, a warm welcome to you, and we are indeed happy to have you amongst us and truly honored and excited to hear from you. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vandana, for this detailed introduction. Namaskar, and a very good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Very
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. I'm so happy
Good
that
afternoon,
I'm
good
getting
afternoon.
the
Good afternoon,
species
ma'am.
individually, and I'm really happy. I guess I can hope that the session will be interactive. So first of all, I would like to thank Team MM-TTC, Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, and its dynamic assistant director, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Pandey for inviting me and making me the part of this faculty induction program. Today's session is on emerging global trends in higher education teaching, innovations and best practices. India today is rapidly getting transformed into a knowledge society. A young and aspirant India and its ease with technology has created this change momentum. The present development in the industry is all geared to make India leapfrog in the knowledge world. Today, the sources of knowledge are global, and hence, education is about preparing students for future leadership positions in a globalized knowledge society. Of course, with NEP 2020, it's the urge of the time that now we embrace the global trends. Higher education has a symbiotic relationship with society at large. So, as we all are the part of this higher education, I would like to break the ice and make the session interactive. As I'm seeing people, I overheard your conversations with Sir. So I'm really happy that, yes, you all are so enlightened and expressive. So I would like to ask you that, can you please tell me that on what level of education we are at present? Like the phases. For example, if we talk about Modi government, we may say that this is Modi government 3.0. So similarly in education, as you are all the strong pillars of your institutions, can anybody please tell me? You're free to
Higher
explain.
5, higher
Sorry.
5,
5.2.
5.9, 5.
Okay. Yes, sir. We are in a way leapfrogging towards 5.0. Still, we are trying. But you are right. Anyone else? So if we are on this stage, 4 or 5, so can anybody tell me that what is stage 1, 1.0? We have evolved from 1 to 4 and are now leapfrogging to 5.
बोलिए हिंदी में जवाब दे सकते हैं, दीजिए।
सर हिंदी में तो अभी तो मैं कोशिश करती हूँ, हिंदी में भी बात कर सकती हूँ अगर if you want me to talk in Hindi.
दोनों बोथ मिक्स। बोलिए कोई
अभी हम
बताइए।
आपने बोला सही है, 5 में एंटर हो रहा है, हम इवॉल्व हुए हैं, मगर अभी तक इतने इवॉल्व 5 तक नहीं हुए, इन बिटवीन है, 4 में है।
ट्रांजिशनल फेज है।
हाँ जी, ट्रांजिशनल फेज है सर। तो 1 क्या होगा सर, आप कैसे नेम करोगे 1 को? आज टीचिंग टेक्निक्स पे बात करने वाले, तो ये तो इंटरैक्टिव ही होने वाला है पूरा सेशन।
वो जो ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम थे,
ओके, दैट चॉक डस्टर वाले क्लासेस, जो ट्रेडिशनल, आई गेस एनीबडी कैन ऐड टू दिस, यू मे हैव सम डिफरेंट व्यू। डॉक्टर उपाध्याय जी, वो 1.0 है ना, जो फर्स्ट 1, वो हमारी गुरु शिष्य परंपरा हम कह सकते हैं।
जी जी, गुरुकुल वाले।
हाँ जी। So we know how things were working over there, मगर वो एक क्लास का एजुकेशन था। स्टूडेंट्स जाते थे गुरुकुल्स में और वहां पढ़ाई के अलावा भी बहुत सी चीजें करते थे. So that was our Guru Shishya Parampara or the Gurukul system. We may name it as education 1.2. मगर वो एक क्लास का एजुकेशन, होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट था, मगर रिस्ट्रिक्टेड था. वहां एकलव्य नहीं जा सकते. फिर आया एजुकेशन 2.0. तो 2.0 जो है वो हम उसको प्रिंटिंग प्रेस के साथ शुरू हुआ. मैकाउले पॉलिसी के साथ हम उसको जोड़ सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो टाइम पे अगर इंडिया की बात करते तो वो टाइम पे इंस्टीट्यूशंस, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस थी, कॉलेजेस थी, यूनिवर्सिटीज थी. 18 से ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटी बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस हुई है. तो वो समय पे मासिफिकेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन हुआ. क्लास से हम मास की तरफ आए. बिल्डिंग्स में टीचर भी जाते थे और बच्चे भी आते थे. मगर ये वक्त द टीचर वॉज द सोल प्रोवाइडर ऑफ नॉलेज. सब टीचर सेंट्रिक था. और जो आपने कहा सर वो ट्रेडिशनल एजुकेशन, हाँ ये ट्रेडिशनल एजुकेशन, ये ब्लैक बोर्ड, चौक, डस्टर, द 4 वॉल्स. और जब टीचर ही सोल प्रोवाइडर थे तो ऑब्वियसली टीचर की एक अपनी इंपॉर्टेंस थी. जहां स्टूडेंट इतने मायने नहीं रखता था जितना टीचर लगा. फिर वी नो हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी हैज इवॉल्व्ड and it's still evolving by leaps and bounds. So then we can say कि education 3.0 आया. टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड एजुकेशन. क्या हम इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं? टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड एजुकेशन को हम क्या बोलेंगे? कैसे पढ़ाना शुरू किया हमने? विद द यूज ऑफ IoTs, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स. क्लास के अंदर हम इंटरनेट ले गए, क्लास के अंदर टेक्नोलॉजी ले गए, हमने पावर पॉइंट से प्रेजेंट करना शुरू किया. तो ऐसे एजुकेशन 3.0 आया. ये एक जस्ट एक ग्लिम्स दे रही हूं, जो मतलब हम समझ सकते हैं कि हम कहां जा रहे हैं और कैसे इवॉल्व हो. और फिर इट्स आफ्टर पैंडेमिक. पहले से शुरू हो गया, मगर पैंडेमिक के बाद हम वी ऑल हैव एक्सपीरियंस द कोविड टाइम. और जो यंग टीचर्स हैं उनको तो इतनी दिक्कत नहीं हुई. But the teachers who are seniors, they know that it was a time for online learning. और जिन्होंने कभी कंप्यूटर टच नहीं किया था, लैपटॉप टच नहीं किया, पावर पॉइंट कैसे बनाना है वो उनको मालूम नहीं था. And all were compelled to take online classes. And that was a great challenge for all the teachers of higher education. And by the grace of God, everyone was able to overcome that challenge. So now we may say that higher education is equally being redefined in this age of omnipresent information channels of access to information. The learner today is a digital native who is at ease with smartphones and other computing devices and Google for information with the latest additions of AI. Abhi teacher is not the sole provider. Now they have a number of resources to get information and knowledge. And so today, each learner is different in his aspirations and learning needs. And the learner needs flexibility in teaching and learning. The learning which he can have at his own time and pace. So as effective teachers, we can put our students and institutions on global stage if we adapt to education 4.0, where learning has moved from hardware to software, and is everywhere, facilitating personalized learning by changing the role of the teachers to facilitators and mentors. The role of the teacher has flipped from teacher. Now the teachers are facilitators. So if we talk about education 4.0, I may say that 4.0 is about flexpertise, teaching expertise that is flexible enough to adapt to different learning styles and needs of the contemporary world. Actually, two stubborn assumptions about education have been seriously challenged in the 4.0 world of digitalized, personalized learning. The first is the assumption that learning is a function of place, building. One has to go to the building to learn, rather than space, that is psychological. And the second assumption that learning is the function of time. So you are time bound, period, rather than attention. So education 4.0 is about asynchronous, that is anytime, and digitally dispersed, that is everywhere or anywhere learning. So we teachers have to expose ourselves to this new learning and teaching methods. It's time that we teachers evolve from being ringmasters to Zen masters, would enlarge the horizons of knowing. Knowability will have to displace knowledge reproduced from memory banks. This is education, skill-based learning. We had the tendency, we still have the tendency, but we have to get rid of that. So now it is all the need of branding of Indian education by imbibing values in education. The values of truth, satyam, sustainability, nityam, and wholeness, that is purnam, need to be connected with the modern world and education 4.0. And that will cease to promote the narrow competitive instincts through marks and remarks. In fact, we have to transcreate rather than translate our sacred texts for a new generation of learners. I guess you understand the meaning and the difference between transcreate and translate. So education 4.0 will be an experimental continuum between our expanding self in the large universe. We have to believe as educators that we can shape the future of the world through our students. Teachers have to see the linkage between inner transformation of students and the broader societal change. So let us try to understand various teaching techniques. Let me first share mine. So I'm not able to share. Okay, got it. Is it visible?
सर YouTube लाइट ऑन कर दो चल रहा है
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Again, let us discuss first and then move to that. Now, as teachers, I know many of you are teaching from maybe 2 to 5 years of experience, or as it is faculty induction, so from 0 to 5 or 2, I don't know. But what kind of latest teaching techniques you are aware about, or what are you using in your class at present?
PPTs we are using PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, PPT, yes.
We are using videos also.
Yes, sir.
PPT and videos also we are using in
Okay,
class.
great, great. Apart from that, see, we all have gathered here to learn. So obviously, if we are not using, we will know the latest techniques. So at present, I guess we are using PPTs in the class. So that is the use of ICT. But apart from that, like, what should I tell you? Like something like cooperative learning, the techniques.
Ma'am, group discussion.
Yes, good. Yes, Premaji. Group discussion. Yes, it is one of the technique that is working effectively in higher education at present. Apart from group discussion, anything else? Even if you are not using, you know.
Some hands-on activities.
Exactly, some hands-on activities. Hands-on activities like, if you can.
Blended learning.
Okay, blended learning. I'm really happy, Adilji.
Yes, जी ma'am.
So, yes, it is 4.0
There is
technique.
face-to-face interaction as well as the online personalized interactive sessions as well.
Yes. I'll take a little bit of blended learning as it's a part. But yes. Anything else apart from that? We do group discussion. You take blended learning. Then?
We are
Ma'am,
using
role playing.
digitally interactive flat panels, which are directly connected to the internet as well.
Yes, sir. Okay. Again, techniques differ from subject to subject, discipline from discipline. That is also true. As we all, I guess, we all are multidisciplinaries over here.
Yes, ma'am.
So it will be a great exchange. So anybody else who want to add to this?
Ma'am, role playing and peer learning.
Yes, Pooja ji. Role play is also a very effective technique at present. And you talked about peer learning. Yes.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
may just add to it's peer tutoring.
Okay.
Peer tutoring, yes. See, it's coming. Okay, let me begin with something and we'll discuss one by one. These are the latest techniques on your screen. I guess you are able to see them.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
First one, as it is active learning. Active learning is an educational approach where students engage with the material, participate in the learning process, and collaborate with each other. this strategy is designed to improve critical thinking, problem solving, and deeper understanding of the subject matter. Let me share some examples of how active learning techniques or what kind of active learning techniques can be used in higher education. As I said priorly, that it may vary from disciplines. I am from humanities, from arts. I'll relate to mine, but you can relate to your subject. One is a very effective technique, that is think, pair, and share. I guess you know. And it's very clear from the name. Think, pair, share. For example, students are given a question or a problem to ponder individually. You can throw the question so that they learn to develop critical thinking. They try to think on that. Then they pair up to discuss their thoughts, or we pair them with the peers, either in a group or two of them. And finally, after that pairing, they share their conclusions with the larger group, that is the sharing. Whatever they have done, first it was individual, then two of them will come together, or more than two will come together, and then they will share whatever conclusion they have come to. For example, I am from literature. So if I am teaching a critical theory in my class, so what will I do? That I might ask someone or few of the students to think of a particular theory, or maybe two, three, suppose for example, structuralism, psychoanalytic theory, feminism, whatever. And then I will tell them to discuss the same with their partner. And then I can just give them a task that you apply that on a short story, on a novel, whatever, or a movie. Try to think with your partner, combined with him or her, and then present that to your class. So that will clear their understanding of the thing. Because, see, the text is the same. For example, if we are talking about Ramayana, characters are the same, plot is the same, but the point of view will be different. Like if we are applying the feminist theory, we have a serial like Siya Ke Ram. So the entire thing will be from Sita's point of view. So how it will change? They will be able to apply that. Maybe as a character, we may say Ravana as a villain or a negative character. But that same Ravan can also become the hero if we change the perspective, if we apply certain theories. So that way, active learning develops. Student can think, they can apply, they can use that, and that gives them more clarity. They can discuss in the class. Apart from this think, pair, and share, there can be case studies. You can discuss with case studies. So again, what happens with case study, we all know. Students here also apply the theoretical knowledge to practical situations. For example, if you are in some business course, then students might be given a case study about a company facing a financial crisis. And then you can ask them to come up with a strategic plan to address the problem. So that way they can learn, they are involved. Active learning means they are involved in the learning. Again, there is a method like problem-based learning. It is popularly known as PBL. where students are presented with a problem and they work in groups to find a solution. Even in medicine, in engineering, this is very common. Flipped classroom, again, I'll be talking about that in detail later, so I'm not touching it right now. Then there are Socratic seminars in active learning. Socratic seminars means that involves a student-led discussion based on asking and answering questions to stimulate critical thinking. Suppose you have given some short video or you have shown it in your PPT. Then you will start asking questions. That's what you have understood from this 2 minutes video, 3 minutes video. So that way, Socratic seminars can be organized. Or for example, in my field, I say that I will talk about a novel which I have given as a task to read. And then I will engage them in this Socratic seminar to explore its themes, characters, and implications. So that is happening. As Poojaji said, peer teaching, peer tutoring. See, it is rightly said that the learning retention of the student is only 5% when the teacher reads. It increases to 50% by audio-visual. Then it increases to 70% when they are given a task or they present themselves through presentations. But it reaches 90% when they are engaged in peer learning and teaching. See, when a student teaches the other student, both are enriched, both are benefited. There is a distance with the teacher. They will be hesitant to ask few things, but they will be able to ask easily to their peer. For example, one math problem. The student has asked his friend. So his friend will try to teach or solve the problem for his peer. So while teaching, he will also clear his doubt. So there will be more clarity to him also, by him. Even as teachers, we know. When we go and teach something for the first time, maybe a theorem or a theory, or maybe some drama, when we do it in the class, suddenly we get that clarity, which is much more than when we have read it. So peer tutoring is important. So first theory is this active learning trend, teaching technique. Then we have blended learning. I'll be talking, I guess sir has told me that you are done with blended learning and you are aligned with that. मगर हम उसकी बाद में बात करेंगे, थोड़ी बात तो मैं करूंगी क्योंकि एजुकेशन 4 की बात कर रहे हैं. फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम की बात उसके साथ ही करूंगी. Then we'll be talking about collaborative learning. Again, ये आज की बहुत ज्यादा effective technique. It's an educational approach where students work together, collaborative. We understand by the name only. It's about collaboration. They work together in groups to achieve shared learning goals. This strategy emphasizes teamwork, communication, and the sharing of diverse perspectives to deepen understanding and solve complex problems. So let me try to make it clear with few examples how you can implement collaborative learning in the class. One of the easiest ways is assigning group projects. Each member will contribute with their skill and knowledge. And the prerequisite is that group must work together to plan, research, and present their findings. So collaborative learning is an effective strategy. Again, apart from collaborative learning, if we talk about another group projects, we can talk about peer review and feedback. That also works very nicely. I guess you all are aware about peer reviewed journals. We have peer reviewed journals. So what is done in that? There are blind peer reviews. So here the student will review and provide feedback on each other's work. Just gives them some assignment. They worked on that. But then they will check each other's assignment. You are not going to check. They will review it. So what will be the product? What will be the outcome? So this will not only help the author to improve his work, but it will also allow the reviewer to develop the critical thinking. In a writing course, for instance, if we talk about, student might exchange drafts of their essays and provide constructive feedback to help each other refine their arguments and writing style. This is possible. So both grow and they collaborate to grow. So peer review and feedback. A very interesting strategy is the jigsaw method. Have you heard about the jigsaw method? How it works? It's very interesting. Are you familiar with jigsaw method? Then I will not go deep into that. Otherwise, I'll be happy to explain jigsaw, that how it works.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then let me explain you. See, in this method, it's, I guess, the most effective learning strategy of cooperative learning. Students are divided into groups, and each group is assigned a different topic or a part of a large subject to become expert on it. They then reassemble into new groups where each member share their expertise, effectively teaching their peers. I will explain with example, a concrete example. So, as I told you, I'm a teacher of literature. Say, for example, I'm teaching Macbeth or some play of Shakespeare in the class. Now, what will I do? See, if I want to apply jigsaw to my class, I can do this. But for that, first, I have to prepare certain things. As a teacher, I should be active. I have to work something extra. So, say for example, I want to explain them the plot of Shakespeare's Macbeth or Othello, whatever. That doesn't matter. Then first, I need to, what will be my objective for this? I have to prepare that lesson plan. Like, by the end of the session, what will my learners be able to do? If I'm going to teach this particular text in this way, how will my students be benefited? First, they will develop the ability to read the text on their own. They will build the knowledge of lexes related to plot and tragedy. As it is a tragedy, they will be able to define plot, analyze plot, explain the design of the plot, identify plot in tragedy, create a plot diagram, or apply the knowledge to evaluate any Shakespearean tragedy, even if I'm talking of one. This will be the outcomes. Outcome-based education, OBE, is a part of NEP, as you all are aware. Apart from that, they will also develop social skills, life skills, like they will respect each other's views and use polite language. They will share ideas and materials with each other. See here, first, what you have to do is you help your students understand the importance of individual and group responsibility. Dish out the instruction, dish out the task in a very clear way and explain the expectations from them. And also explain them the values of soft skills. They are going to learn through this. So now, just for your knowledge, that most of the tragedies of Shakespeare, they are of 5 acts. So there are 5 acts. There are a number of acts in one, but a number of scenes, but acts are 5. So you may divide the students into the group of 5. So each can have 1 act. See, there will be a group of 5. So each one will have 1 act, act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may ask your student to choose the name of the group. It can be red, blue, yellow, orange, whatever they want to choose. And tell them that now they are in their home groups. This is their home group. And each member of the home group give a code number for identification. Suppose someone dealing with act 1, then it is 1, 2 means 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, ask them to choose their leader, secretary, and timekeeper. It's voluntary. So they will decide who is the leader, who is the secretary, and who is the timekeeper. You just help them understand what is the task of the leader, to keep the group on task and distribute materials like whatever. Timekeeper, he will be making it sure that the exercise is completed in given time. And the secretary or the reporter will record and report the group's finding. So this kind of little things you can work on a UG level. I have done this in my class. So I can tell you that yes, it works very effectively. Now this is the first step 1, preparation. Now we move to the step 2. So now instruct the group leader to distribute the chunk of content. We have get it xeroxed, like 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here. So it is xeroxed and that is circulated. So that will be done. 1 to the code 1, code 2 will have the second, 3 will have the third. So that way. Now, after distributing this, what they can do? Ask them to read the chunk of that content independently. हर एक बच्चा जो उसको चंक दिया हुआ है, एक्ट 1 दिया हुआ है, तो वो बच्चा एक्ट 1 पढ़ेगा क्लास में. वो छोटा छोटा ही होगा, बहुत लंबा चौड़ा नहीं होगा एज बिगिनर्स. तो सब अब्रिज्ड एडिशन लेंगे हम, तो वो क्लास में पढ़ेगा, अपने आप पढ़ेगा. और फिर उनको बोलिए कि नाउ यू एक्सप्लेन दिस टू द अदर ग्रुप मेंबर्स. एक्ट 1 में क्या है, 2 में क्या है, ऐसे करके सभी स्टूडेंट्स को पूरा कंटेंट 1 से 5 का जो समरी है वो समझ में आ जाएगी, जो हाईलाइट है. They are doing on their own. We only have to monitor that home group. अब क्या होगा? Now ask students with the same chunk to form a new group. Suppose the students with Act 1, सभी Act 1 वाले एक में आ जाओ. हमने 5, सपोज करो 30 स्टूडेंट्स का ग्रुप है. सॉरी, आई फॉरगॉट टू टेल यू कि हमने हमारे क्लास में 30 स्टूडेंट्स है मेरे क्लास, तो 6 ग्रुप्स मैंने बना दिए. ऐसे सबको एक तरीके का मटेरियल दिया हुआ. तो जब ये 6 लोग एक साथ आ जाएंगे जिसका एक्ट 1 है, दूसरे 6 जिसका 2 है, तो वो दूसरे में आ जाएंगे. ऐसे हम वापस ग्रुप को जो सिंगल कंटेंट है वो तरीके से हम उनको डिवाइड करते. और इसको हम नेम देंगे एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप. होम ग्रुप तो था 1 2 3 4 5 का. अभी एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप कैसे हुआ? 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2. So that way they are divided. Now what they are going to do with this expert group, as they all have the same code numbers, they will be together. So now instruct students to discuss and compare their ideas and work together to prepare some presentation to give in their home. सब एक दूसरे में ऐड करेंगे. एक्ट 1 सबने पढ़ा है. अगर कोई बोलेगा कि ये डायरेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन है, ये इसमें इन बिटवीन द लाइंस ये पढ़ सकते हैं, ये कैरेक्टर को आपने देखा ही नहीं है, ये मार्जिनल है मगर इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो दे कैन डू दैट. सो नाउ they can relate it and they can add to that. Now while students are engaged in the expert group, monitor them that they do the assigned job perfectly. Connect to them, solve their difficulties if they are having. You see, your duty is not, you are not the sage on the stage. You are the guide on the side. They are sitting in corners. You can change the entire sitting arrangement of your class. You are the king or the queen of your class. Nobody is going to tell you anything. So they can just have their benches together. They can sit in a circular way. So it's not that formal kind of sitting arrangement. And you are moving from one group to another. Maybe someone saying from outside, they will not understand that what kind of teaching is going over there. But still they are learning through jigsaw. So constantly observe that gap in individual students' knowledge and try to clear it. अब क्या होगा? ये हो गया. होम ग्रुप में से एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप में आए, कैसे आए, कैसे डिवाइड किया? आई गेस यू अंडरस्टैंड नाउ. तो अब एक्सपर्ट में से वापस सब बच्चों को बोलेंगे कि अपने अपने होम ग्रुप्स में चले जाइए. तो जो 6 ग्रुप थे, 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2, तो अब कैसे हो गए? 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 वापस होम ग्रुप में आ गए. जो रेड था तो रेड हो गया, ब्लू था तो ब्लू हो गया. सो दे आर बैक. अब क्या होगा? Now instruct students to return to their home groups and share their findings that they have with the other members. Ask each student to present the information and knowledge that they have gathered. Instruct the other members of the group to listen carefully, take notes and ask questions. And this activity should be conducted by taking turns. पहले 1 वाला बोलेगा, 2 वाला बोलेगा, 3 वाला बोलेगा. Now ask the secretary of each home group to discuss, take notes and summarize. Now disperse the students. Groups are dispersed. Home group भी disperse हो गया है. सब class में अब now there is an entire class. All are sitting individually, not in groups. Now ask the secretary of each home group to share the report of the group's findings. फिर आएगा फाइनल फेज और वो है इवैल्यूएशन. अब आप उसको इवैल्यूएट कैसे करेंगे कि उनको ये एक क्लास में नहीं होगा. It will take maybe 2 to 3 lectures. It's a continuous process. It will not be completed within 1 hour. Now, अभी वो इवैल्यूएशन कैसे करेंगे सब बच्चों का? So you can throw a quiz. So evaluate them through a quiz. Include all the content chunks in the quiz. अभी answer भी provide correct answers with the help of the students only. And then conclude the lesson by taking the feedback from the students. So I give the example of a drama, as I teach drama. But you can take anything you want, but you have to form a home group. You have to form an expert group. You have to, in a Google form or whatever way, you have to conduct a quiz. So a teacher has to work extra. You have to work. If the critical thinking of the student is raised before that, the teacher is doing the brainstorm. Again, collaborative problem solving also works in cooperative learning, that they all come together, they solve complex problems through case studies or whatever way. So it's possible. Even you can form study groups. Students meet regularly to discuss the course material. They share notes with each other, help each other understand difficult concepts. So it's possible. Role playing, as Madam has said, it also works. Assign role and try to navigate a scenario or a real world situation. सपोज करो एक पॉलिटिकल साइंस का क्लास चल रहा है, तो कैसे रोल प्ले कर सकते हैं? एक मॉक पार्लियामेंट कर सकते हैं, उसमें डिबेट रख सकते हैं, या फिर स्टूडेंट्स को डिप्लोमेट्स बनाते हैं जो पीस ट्रीटी पर निगोशिएट करते हैं. दे वर्क कोलैबोरेटिवली to find a resolution that will satisfy all parties. So that way you can give various roles and they can work. So these collaborative learning strategies foster a sense of community, enhance critical thinking, and prepare students for the collaborative nature of the modern. Then another interesting strategy is gamification. I guess you all are aware what gamification is about. So it's the integration of game elements and principles into non-game context to engage and motivate students in the learning process. This strategy leverages the natural human inclination for competition, achievement, and reward to make learning more engaging and enjoyable. So let me know from you, though you have not used or you have used, it's okay, but at least we can think that what kind of gamification. See, all are playing virtual games. We have to talk into their language. Playing games online, on mobile, that is their language. So we are teaching them in their language. So what can we use? जो गेम्स में होता है वो सब हम कर सकते हैं. पॉइंट सिस्टम, लीडर बोर्ड्स, बैजेस, अचीवमेंट्स. तो जो डिजिटल बेजेस मिलेगा, जो हम इवन हमारे जो भी एप्स है, हेल्थ एप्स है, वॉकिंग एप्स है, तो हमको भी मिलते हैं, तो अच्छा लगता है. इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ मोटिवेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर वापस लैंग्वेज की बात करूं तो ग्रामर सिखाना है, तो वी आर जस्ट लेवलिंग अप. वोकैब के लिए, ग्रामर के लिए हम सुडोकू जो करते हैं, पजल्स बनाते हैं, तो वो तरीके से सपोज करो एक मुझे एक एडजेक्टिव सिखाना है या फिर कोई आर्टिकल सिखाना है, तो मैं पहले बहुत सिंपल सी एक्सरसाइजेस दूंगी. सिंपल आर्टिकल्स है, सिंपल एडजेक्टिव्स है, सिंपल प्रीपोजिशंस है, फिर धीरे धीरे मैं उसको लेवल हाई करती जाऊंगी. सो फ्रॉम सिंप्लिसिटी टू कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, तो उसको लेवल्स दे सकते हैं, हम चैलेंजेस दे सकते हैं, चैलेंज 1, चैलेंज 2. सो दैट इज पॉसिबल. यहां इंटरेक्टिव क्विज और ट्रिविया. ट्रिविया माने with the use of MCQ, open-ended questions, true or false questions. Up game, you can play the games. You can form them. There are various ways that you can do that. So that also works. As I told you, rewards and incentives also works. हम कुछ बच्चों को सपोज करो कि हम उनका जो प्रेजेंस के मार्क्स रख रहे हैं, 5 में से 10 में से जो भी है, तो जो आते हैं रखते हैं, तो हम ऐसा बोलेंगे आप जितना पार्टिसिपेट करोगे क्लास में, आप क्रेडिट अर्न करोगे. जितने प्रेजेंटेशंस दोगे, हम उसका एक टेबल बना सकते हैं एक्सेल शीट में. उसको बच्चों को ही बोलिए कि वो मैनेज करेंगे, तो दैट विल बी beneficial to them. So gamification also works and students enjoy this. इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में तो बहुत ज्यादा ये काम करता है. वोकेब गेम्स खिला, वी कैन प्ले. वर्ड स्क्रिबल तो हम ऑनलाइन भी करते हैं, तो दैट इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर देम. अगेन स्टोरी टेलिंग चैलेंजेस दे सकते हैं. फ्लिप लर्निंग में मैं वो थोड़ा बताऊंगी कि कैसे काम करते हैं, तो ये उसमें देखेंगे हम. ग्रामर क्विज मैंने बोला तो वो ले सकते हैं. अगेन रोल प्लेइंग भी बहुत ज्यादा काम करता है एज अ गेम. कुछ रियल लाइफ सिनेरियो आप उसको दो और सबको बोलो कि जो भी बोलना है इंग्लिश में ही बोलना. सपोज करो आप बोलो, एक एक्ट करो, आप रेस्टोरेंट में गए हो, आप कैसे फूड ऑर्डर करोगे, रिकमेंडेशंस कैसे करोगे, कंप्लेन कैसे हैंडल करोगे, कुछ भी कह सकते हैं. तो दैट विल एनहांस द लैंग्वेज. सो दिस कैन हेल्प. अगेन रीडिंग और लिसनिंग चैलेंजेस आप दे सकते हो. क्वेश्चंस पूछ के कोई रीड कर रहा है तो लर्निंग, कोई भी स्किल है तो इसमें ये कर सकते हैं. तो दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स, गैमिफिकेशन. देन कम्स एडेप्टिव लर्निंग. Now, adaptive learning is a personalized educational approach, we all know, that uses technology and data to tailor learning experiences to individual students' needs, preferences, and progress. This strategy aims to provide a customized learning path that adapts to each student's strength and weakness, ensuring a more effective and learning process. सपोज अभी तो एआई के साथ वी कैन टेक मैनी इंटेलिजेंट ट्यूटोरियल सिस्टम्स, सो दैट वी कैन डू. ई लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स कितने हैं हमारे पास, तो कोर्सेरा है, तो दे कैन गो टू दैट. स्वयं दे कैन गो टू देम, दे कैन अडेप्ट, दे कैन यूज एडेप्टिव लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम्स टू पर्सनलाइज कोर्स कंटेंट. सो दैट इज पॉसिबल. पर्सनलाइज्ड लर्निंग पाथ्स है उनके, वो भी वो ले सकते हैं. जो उनका इंटरेस्ट है वो तरीका का कोर्स. वो अभी तो एनईपी ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग की बात कर ही रही है, क्रेडिट्स उससे उनको मिल ही रही है, एबीसी से भी वो क्रेडिट वो ऑप्ट करके भी ले सकते हैं. सो दैट इज देयर. एडेप्टिव असेसमेंट्स भी बहुत ज्यादा काम आते हैं. क्वेश्चनिंग क्विज के साथ होता है, असाइनमेंट्स के साथ होता है. सो they can have that experience. Experimental learning, again the name itself says it's a try and error kind of thing. So this approach emphasizes learning through direct experience and reflection. It focuses on engaging students in real world activities, allowing them to apply theoretical knowledge, develop practical skills, and gain insights from their experience. For example, now we know that NEP has made internships compulsory, co-programs, internships. And internship से क्या होगा? That will provide students opportunity to work in their field of study. Obviously, they will get hands-on experience and professional skills. They will learn that. सपोज करो कोई मार्केटिंग स्टूडेंट है, कोई एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी में इंटर्न तरीके जा रहा है, सो वो वहां कैंपेन्स में, प्रोजेक्ट्स में वो क्लासरूम थियरीज को अप्लाई कर सकता है. यू कैन वर्क दैट वे. सर्विस लर्निंग है. सर्विस लर्निंग माना you go to the community, integrating community service with academic course. So that will help students to address real community needs with learning. For example, कोई social work course है तो student volunteer करेगा at a local non-profit organization. He or she can do that, and there they will apply the knowledge to help undeserved populations and reflecting on their experiences in class. So they can relate that field work तो होता ही है. Hands-on experiments laboratory में होते हैं तो वो भी इसमें आता है. यहाँ भी रोल प्लेइंग काम करता है. We have enough examples of role playing, so I'm not taking. So even project works that take place here. Study abroad programs, study exchange programs. If you can mute your mic, sir. Entrepreneurship programs, EE education at present. Entrepreneurship education that is now a must. So this also works. And experimental learning, so it bridges the gap between theory and practice, preparing students for the complexities and challenges of the real world. So, for example, अगर अगेन लैंग्वेज की बात करें तो एक्सपेरिमेंटल लर्निंग यूजी क्लासेस में कैसे काम करता है. तो रोल प्लेइंग अगर हम करवाते हैं, कर सकते हैं, हम सब कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. तो what we do in the class, like we create scenarios where students must use the target language to navigate real life situation. जब वहां मैंने बोला कि यस वो रेस्टोरेंट में जा रहा है, तो हम यहाँ कुछ ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि स्टूडेंट्स एक्ट एज टूरिस्ट इन अ फॉरेन कंट्री, asking for directions, ordering food, interacting with locals. So yes, they learn through that, they enrich their vocab through that. Again, language exchange programs जैसा कुछ बना सकते हैं. So उसके लिए कहीं और जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो घर में से ही हो सकता है, क्लास में से ही हो सकता है. So we partner with institutions or language learners from other countries for language exchange. Like students can practice speaking with native speakers through video calls. They can do that, improving their conversational skills and cultural understanding, so that they can do. मैं वही बताती हूँ बच्चों को, अगर FB पे फ्रेंड बनाते हो, इंस्टा पे फ्रेंड बनाते हो, तो कुछ ऐसे रेप्यूटेड इंस्टीट्यूशन के बच्चों के साथ भी फ्रेंडशिप बना. You can have that exchange, you can communicate, and you grow. So this is for undergraduate students who are from tribal area. Even they can know the global trends. वहां कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं, कोई पैसा खर्च करने की जरूरत, वो एक क्लिक से हो सकता है. And they can do, and they will be very happy. आज भी स्टूडेंट्स को SSIP में काम करने के लिए, स्टूडेंट स्टार्टअप और इनोवेशन, हम सब कहीं ना कहीं उसमें जुड़े हुए होते हैं. तो बच्चों को बोलती हूँ कि आप हमको उनकी लैंग्वेज में ही बात करनी है. कि आप इंस्टा पे किसको फॉलो करते, क्या आप करो स्टार्टअप फॉलो कर रहे हो, क्या आप शार्क टैंक्स देख रहे हो, तो वी आर मोटिवेटिंग देम इन देयर लैंग्वेज. आप बियर बाइसेप्स को देखते हो, तो वो उनके इन्फ्लुएंसर्स है. एंड स्लोली दे डेवलप दैट टेस्ट एंड दे कम विथ many ideas. ये सब क्लास में ही हो सकता है, कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई पैसा खर्च करने की जरूरत नहीं. अगेन हम कल्चरल इमर्शन प्रोजेक्ट्स कर सकते हैं. Assign projects that require students to explore the culture of a region where the target language is spoken. India is such a rich country. तो उसमें क्या कर सकते हो? You can include cooking traditional dishes, creating presentations on cultural festivals, or conducting interviews with native speakers. खाली एक डिश बनाने के लिए भी वो बात करेंगे, तो कितनी वो क्या उनमें डेवलप होगी. पहले तो फ्लोर और डो के बीच का फर्क ही नहीं मालूम होता है. तो वो वहां से वो सीखना शुरू करते. फील्ड ट्रिप्स पे ले जा सकते हैं आप, कल्चरल सेंटर्स पे ले जा सकते हैं, म्यूजियम्स पे ले जा सकते हैं, लोकल म्यूजियम्स हो, तो यू कैन डू दैट. सर्विस लर्निंग करवा सकते हो. कम्युनिटी प्रोजेक्ट्स में, NSS में रहते हैं बच्चे, वी हैव दैट. तो वहां हम कुछ ऐसा करते हैं कि वो टारगेट लैंग्वेज में ही कम्युनिकेट करें. They volunteer with organizations that serve immigrant communities or participating in language tutoring programs. बहुत से होते हैं, ढूंढना पड़ता है, but we get that. So this can work very effectively. Language labs और technology तो है ही. ये सब एक्टिव, ये सब लेटेस्ट टीचिंग ट्रेंड्स, उसके साथ फोकस ऑन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स जो आज एनईपी कर रही है. आज जो एकेडेमिया और इंडस्ट्री के बीच का जो गैप है, हमको लगता है कि इतने स्टूडेंट्स पास आउट होते और फिर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, नौकरी तो है, यहां है वहां है, तो क्यों कोई हायर नहीं हो रहा है? बिकॉज दैट इज द गैप. जो उनको चाहिए हम वो प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पा रहे. क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे? क्या बता सकते हो कोई? क्यों बच्चे हायर नहीं होते? जगह होती है. आज ही कंपनी बोलती है, स्टेटिस्टिक्स के साथ बोलते कि 30% स्टूडेंट्स को ही जॉब मिलती, बाकी 70% रिजेक्ट हो जाते. क्यों? एज स्टूडेंट, एज टीचर्स, एज एक्टिव टीचर्स, वी शुड थिंक अबाउट दैट. What is the reason behind this? Can anybody please share? See, जब हम करिकुलम डिजाइनिंग होता है हमारा, तो वो डिजाइनर्स कौन है? एकेडेमिशियंस है. सो वी ऑलवेज थिंक फ्रॉम द थियोरेटिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. मैं जहां रहती हूँ वो सूरत के बाजू में हजीरा बेल्ट है, एल&टी वहां है, रिलायंस वहां है. वी हैव अ रिच इंडस्ट्री बेल्ट. तो जब उनसे बात करते हैं, एक कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर भी हूं तो मुझे ज्यादा मालूम है कि बात करते तो वो ऐसा कहते हैं कि हमको जो हमारी जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स है वो आपके पास आउट में नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज हमारा कोई भी बच्चा, मेरा खुद का हो आपका हो, इंजीनियरिंग में है, तो ज्यादातर गुजरात में तो ऐसा ही ट्रेंड है कि इंजीनियरिंग है तो आईटी है. माइंडसेट ऐसा हो गया उनका. तो कितने आईटी में आगे जाएंगे? कितने सैप करेंगे? कितने कोडिंग्स करेंगे? कितनी लैंग्वेजेस सीखेंगे? कौन पाइथन में काम करेगा? वो तो ऑर्डिनरी भी कर सकता है, खाली उसके लिए आईटी इंजीनियरिंग की जरूरत नहीं है, वो आपकी एडिशनल स्किल है. तो फिर कई बच्चे आज भी रेप्यूटेड यूनिवर्सिटीज से पास आउट नहीं हुए होते इंजीनियरिंग में, तो वापस इंग्लिश में आते. हमारे यहाँ कम से कम एक क्लास में 2 से 3 बच्चे इंजीनियरिंग में से आए. Why? क्योंकि वो फ्यूचरिस्टिक नहीं है. हम आज का देखते हैं, वो पास आउट होंगे तो 5 साल के बाद होंगे, तो तब कौन सा ट्रेंड है? क्यों बच्चे मैकेट्रॉनिक्स में कम जाते? क्यों रोबोटिक्स में कम जाते? अब जाने लगे. तो दैट विजन तो वो हमको इंडस्ट्री देगी कि हमारी 5 साल के बाद क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो वो गैप तभी ब्रिज होगा जब एकेडेमिया और इंडस्ट्री साथ में आएंगे सिलेबस डिजाइनिंग में. और उससे भी ज्यादा कितना आता है वो जानने का एक प्रूफ क्या है, वो उसका एक जरिया क्या है? तो क्या आपकी सॉफ्ट स्किल्स कैसे, आपका कम्युनिकेशन कैसा, आप टीम में बिलीव करते हैं कि नहीं, आप में एम्पैथी है कि नहीं, आप नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन कैसे कर सकते हो? तो दीज डेज दिस इज अ फोकस. अभी जो नया सिलेबस डिजाइनिंग हुआ है यूजी से, अगर आप लोगों को भी मालूम ही होगा कि एनहांसमेंट एबिलिटी स्किल्स, एईसी, वो रखा जाता है. उसमें सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, लैंग्वेज के स्टूडेंट्स को ज्यादा सिखाया जाता है, और कॉमर्स के बच्चों को भी, जो हमारे यहाँ आर्ट्स कॉमर्स. क्यों? क्योंकि नाउ दिस इज द नीड ऑफ द डे. अगर उनको कहीं भी एब्जॉर्ब होना है तो दे नीड communication skills. They should be able to work in a team. They should be able to collaborate. They should have the problem solving and critical thinking. They should be adaptable. They should have this resilience. हमेशा success नहीं मिलता. 10 बार गिरोगे तो 11वें बार आप खड़े होगे. So you should have that fighting back attitude, and the comeback is always greater than the setback. So obviously हमेशा आपको फतेह नहीं मिलेगी, तो आपको वो देखना है. आप में लीडरशिप स्किल्स होनी चाहिए, आप में मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स होनी चाहिए. आपकी इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस कैसी है? आईक्यू तो होती है, मगर जब ईक्यू नहीं होती तो you are not able to foster a learning environment. So obviously interpersonal skills चाहिए, networking चाहिए, relationship building चाहिए. बिजनेस कहाँ से लाएंगे आप? आज कोई भी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी में जॉब मिलेगी, बैंक में जॉब मिलेंगी, तो पहला टारगेट देंगे. So I put simple case studies in the class, like to the commerce student, कि आपको मैंने 5 हैंडकरचीफ्स दिए, वेरी कॉमन, कैसे आप सेल करोगे इतने टाइम पीरियड में. तो दे एंजॉय दैट. तो तब मैं सिखाती हूँ कि इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज दैट द प्रोडक्ट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. लुक एट द एडवर्टाइजमेंट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट Raymond, a complete man, what are they projecting on? They're selling the emotions. The focus is on the customer, not on the product. So you have to learn this. You should not serve all the advertise. You should look at the advertise. That will show you the trend, how the world is working. If we go to Dell, what is the tagline of Dell? We don't sell computers, we sell business solutions. See how slowly the world is shifting from I to you. This is the you attitude. तो इस पे काम करवाना है बच्चों के. आप यू एटीट्यूड डेवलप कीजिए. आई इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. कस्टमर स्मार्ट है इसलिए ये प्रोडक्ट लेगा, प्रोडक्ट अच्छी है इसलिए कस्टमर नहीं लेगा. So this is a shift. So we have to facilitate them. We have to show them. बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजों से हम बता सकते हैं. Neighbors envy, owner's pride. ओ नीडा कहाँ फोकस कर रहा है? इमोशंस. सो EQ इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो ये सब सॉफ्ट स्किल से सीखेंगे. टाइम मैनेजमेंट, कहीं भी जाओ आपको टाइम मैनेज करने को, मतलब यू शुड नो दिस. So obviously it is by these soft skills that higher education institutions can equip students with the abilities they need to thrive in their careers and personal lives. So these skills complement academic knowledge and are crucial for success in today's rapidly changing world. So yes, this is working. Now, as I have not taken, I'll be taking just 5 to 10 minutes on blended learning. Now you will help me to understand blended learning, as I guess सर हमसे उनका एक सेशन हो गया है ना blended learning. It's very important NEP के हिसाब से भी और इसके हिसाब से भी. अच्छा, इसके पहले कुछ और चीज ट्राई. ओके, टेल मी लाइक कौन कौन सी स्किल्स जरूरी होती है आज 21st सेंचुरी में? कितने टाइप की स्किल्स हैं? एज अ टीचर यू शुड बी अवेयर. एज अ यंग टीचर यू शुड बी अपडेटेड. कितने स्किल्स है इफ आई आस्क यू? जैसे लर्निंग स्किल्स है,
स्पीकिंग स्किल्स.
यस नमिता जी, यस लर्निंग स्किल्स है. दूसरी लिटरेसी स्किल्स है और तीसरी लाइफ स्किल्स है. 3 प्रकार की स्किल्स है. अब आपको मालूम ही होगा कि देयर आर 4 C's ऑफ लर्निंग. लर्निंग स्किल्स में 4 C's है. वो 4 C कौन से?
Madam, critical, creativity, communication, and collaboration.
Exactly, ma'am. Well said. So these are the 4 C's, and all the teachers must know this, because we have to focus on that. all the 4 C's of learning. I'm sorry, I've not shown you the PPT for this, but I'll try to explain you. Learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. So, the 4 C's of learning, Vandana ji has rightly said. Then we have these literacy skills. And they are also known as IMT skills. Why? I'll let you know. Literacy skills help the students and all of us how to be media literate. Life skills, they are known as flips. The 4 C's of 21st century learning, critical thinking, why it is required, finding solutions to problems. This is the basic जो हमारा माइंडसेट है वो रट्टा लगाने का. सभी पैरट्स है. और पैरट्स क्यों बने हम? कोई कह सकता है क्यों वो मेमोरी की पे ऊपर इतना फोकस हुआ? अगर बच्चा एग्जैक्टली स्कूल में टीचर ने जो दिया है वो नहीं लिखेगा तो मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आएंगे. अंडरस्टैंडिंग से नहीं, मेमोरी से लिखो. क्यों ऐसा है? Again, the route is we are still following the colony. वो उन्होंने सिखाया है ऐसा. आज भी हम लोग अपनी बात करें तो जब हम पहली बार इंग्लिश सीखे, कौन से स्टैंडर्ड में वेरी करेगा? 5th स्टैंडर्ड से शुरू किया, केजी से शुरू किया, फर्स्ट से. जब से एबीसीडी हमने शुरू की तो क्या सिखाया गया? ए फॉर एप्पल, B for bat, C for cat. हमेशा इतना हमारे मन में वो बस गया है कि A is for apple. तो क्यों तब टीचर ने हमें नहीं सिखाया या पूछा कि बेटा बोलिए कि A पे से कितने वर्ड्स बन सकते हैं? क्यों डायरेक्टली बोल दिया? फीड ही कर दिया, प्रोग्रामिंग कर दिया हमारा A for apple. अगर तभी बच्चों को हम वो बताए, बेटा आप बोलो ए पे से एयर भी हो सकता है, एरोप्लेन भी हो सकता है, और जो भी आपको आए ए पे से, तो कितने वर्ड्स आएंगे? मगर वी वर नॉट टॉट दैट वे. व्हाई? द इंटेंशन वाज डिफरेंट विद द मैकाउले एजुकेशन सिस्टम. वो उनका खुद का एक सेल्फिश पर्पस था. क्यों? वो पढ़ाई इसलिए थी कि उनको तो बाबू ही बनाने थे सरकारी. They wanted people who can just obey the orders. They will not ask anything. Critical thinking होगा तो कोई पूछेगा, पूछना नहीं है. Obey the orders. So they developed this. And since years we are practicing the same as parents. आज बच्चा एग्जाम में कुछ भी लिख के आ गया, कल उसको पूछोगे तो नहीं मालूम होगा. ये रियलिटी है. They vomit in the exam. It's not digested. So it is because of these that this critical thinking is not developed by the teacher. So it's our moral duty to develop this. Creativity, thinking outside the box. Inclusiveness चाहिए. अलग अलग बच्चे. तो भी हमारे यहाँ तो क्लासरूम में बहुत अच्छा है कि हमारे कल्चर्स के ही बच्चे. आप फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी में जाओ, कोई चाइनीज है, कोई इंडियन है, कोई दूसरी जगह से है, कोई तीसरी जगह से, कोई अफ्रीका, सबका कल्चर अलग है. अगर उसको कुछ पढ़ाना है तो टीचर को एक लेवल पे आना पड़ेगा या फिर उनकी भाषा में सीखना पड़ेगा. तो वो हमारे से ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग है उनका. सो क्रिएटिविटी इंक्लूसिवनेस से डेवलप होती है. उनको एक एनवायरनमेंट दो कि वो फील करे कि यस वी आर हर्ड. Appreciate them. अच्छा नहीं किया है तो भी appreciate कीजिए क्योंकि दूसरी बार उससे अच्छा करें. We have to develop that. Collaboration, working in team, working in groups, communication. Now, communication is the glue which brings all the three: critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. So try to focus on that. It's not always the duty of the English teacher or the language teacher. All the teachers must be aware. They themselves, being an image consultant, I do this in corporates. I take workshops, 8 hours workshop for that. That why communication? All the three channels of communication are very important. What are the three channels? Which are the three channels of communication? कौन सी है?
Audio, visual.
Yes, ma'am.
Verbal,
Audio.
non-verbal, written.
Yes, verbal, non-verbal, written नहीं है मैडम, vocal है.
Vocal.
Okay.
The three channels. Verbal तो वो 7% ही है जिसपे हम बहुत ज्यादा फोकस करते हैं. That is only 7%. Vocal, the way you talk with your tone. See, क्लास में 150 बच्चे, तो तब जब आप बात करोगे और क्लास में 5 बच्चे, तो सेम होगा आपका वोकल. If you are talking with that particular way, then you will be shouting in the class with the 5 students. मगर जो 5 बच्चों के साथ बात कर रहे हो वो 150 के क्लास में करोगे, then you are whispering. So you have to maintain that particular kind of. Plus your tone, the way you talk, your pauses. If you are asking a question, you don't have to say that this is a question. If you are dictating something and it's a full stop, your pause will say that this is a full stop. See, we have to teach them. We have to learn that etiquettes. हमारे यहाँ कहीं हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं, कहीं रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हैं, कहीं लाइब्रेरी में जाते हैं, तो मतलब keep silence, keep silence, keep silence. कुछ बच्चे रेस्टोरेंट में साथ में आए तो सबको मालूम पड़ना चाहिए कि हाँ ये ग्रुप आया है. We are so much attention seeker, तो वो बताना पड़ेगा कि ऐसे नहीं बात करते. क्यों में है, आप अपना कुछ प्रॉब्लम वो हॉस्पिटल में बता रहे हैं, तो कौन सी तरीके से बताना है, कैसा टोन यूज करना है. आज कॉल सेंटर्स में जो जॉब मिलते हैं ज्यादातर इसमें ये बहुत ध्यान रखना पड़ता है. सो वोकल इज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दैट इज आई गेस around 37% also, and the rest is non-verbal.
Ma'am, what is paralingual then?
Sorry?
Paralingual. What is paralingual type of communication?
Paralingual is kind of you are talking through your body also, your expressions also. I'm coming to that now. So when you go with non-verbal, kinetics, it's known as kinetics, the non-verbal communication. So you are using your posture, you are using your gesture, you are using your expressions. Now, how to use them so that you can be effective in your interview, you can be effective in your presentation. I keep mock interviews in my class. They play the role plays. Few are taking the interviews, few are there giving interviews. So here, 4S are very important. 4S. First is the way you stand. when you go in the class or you go in a working environment or you go publicly, the way you stand. This is an online lecture, so I cannot give you the demos. But yes, how you can shift your weight between equally with your two legs, that is important. This is the first impression that you can make with the 4S. The way you stand, the way you see, the eye contact. You will connect to each and every student or whoever is in the audience as participants through your eyes, so that they will not feel ignored. So the way you stand, the way you see, the way you smile, that is very important. See, everybody loves the smiley face. So you connect with your smile. You connect with your eyes. You connect with your confident posture. And finally, it's the way you say. So these are very important things to have a first impression. So communication is important. It's not only through your words. You develop that rapport with eye contact. So people don't feel that they are ignored. Why students, they chat in the class, or why they eat the nastas, lunch boxes, or whatever in the last benches, they do that, they talk. Why? Because they feel that the teacher is not paying attention. You are only talking to the first benchers. Maybe they feel ignored. If you are having that eye contact, and the thumb rule is, उनकी आंख में कितना देखना है. सपोज 100 स्टूडेंट है तो आपको ऑब्वियसली क्वेश्चन आएगा कि कैसे 100 को हम देख. जब तक आप उनकी आंखों का रंग ना देख ले, बस इतना देखना. दैट इज द थंब. वो आंख का कलर ब्लैक है, ब्राउन है, then you shift. That is the thumb. स्माइल से क्या होता है? क्या होता है स्माइल से? When you smile,
वेलकमिंग जेस्चर होता है.
एग्जैक्टली, फ्रेंडली जेस्चर. कोई टीचर आके स्माइल करता है तो उनको थोड़ा रिलैक्स फील होता है कि फ्रेंडली है. और हमारे लिए क्या अच्छा होता है स्माइल से? एज अ बिगिनर क्या होता है? पहले दिन क्लास में गए हो, आपको मालूम है ये बहुत नोटोरियस क्लास है, सबने बोला है कि इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू स्टैंड इन दैट क्लास. You have to wear that smile. I always say that wear a smile. It's not always that we can smile, but we have to wear it as an accessory. It boosts your confidence. I give very simple techniques to boost the confidence. If you can tell your students, even you can do it. See, suppose we are going for an interview. Most of us, we are in the waiting area. What will we do? We'll have our mobile. We will just look into the mobile. See, our shoulders, you can check it. They shrink हो जाते हैं. तो आपका पोस्चर कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं लगता. तो इंटरनल भी जो आपके हार्मोन्स है, डोपामाइन नहीं रेज होते. जो हैप्पी हार्मोन्स है वो रेज नहीं होंगे, कार्टिसोल होंगे. तो उससे एक हैक आप रख सकते हैं, एक न्यूज़पेपर रखिए साथ. कहीं भी ऐसा लगे कि कॉन्फिडेंट दिखना है, न्यूज़पेपर रखिए साथ में. वेटिंग एरिया में बैठे आप ऐसे पूरा न्यूज़पेपर ओपन कीजिए. व्हाट विल हैपन? आपके शोल्डर्स आप ही फील करिए. यू विल फील दैट. इसीलिए हमारी ये नमस्ते परंपरा है ना, वो अपने आप में बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट. व्हेन यू से नमस्ते, सी, you press and you broaden. It helps you a lot. आप वर्ल्ड लीडर्स को देखिए, सबकी जो उनकी सक्सेस है उसमें सबसे कॉमन चीज क्या है? क्यों वो सक्सेसफुल है, क्यों वो एन्चांटिंग है, क्यों वो करिज्मेटिक है? व्हाट इज दैट? उनकी स्पीच, उनका कम्युनिकेशन, दैट इज अ कॉमन थिंग अमोंग। आप ट्रम्प को देखिए, आप मोदी जी को देखिए, आप और किसी को देखिए, वो हम उनको जज नहीं करेंगे, मगर यस जो है वो उनकी लीडरशिप स्टाइल जो है वो उनमें ये करिश्मा कम्युनिकेशन है, द वे दे टॉक, दे यूज देयर पावर जेस्चर्स। व्हाट आर द पावर जेस्चर्स? सी, दिस इज अ पावर जेस्चर. Just try to observe Modi ji, the way he uses. This is a power gesture. This is a power gesture. Shoulders open is a power gesture that gives you confidence. So you have to wear a smile. Smile gives you a confidence. It increases your face value. It's good for them. It's good for them. It gives them a friendly feel, but at the same time, it also benefits us. And I can take an entire lecture on this because it's my job and I do this. But yes, these are the 4 C's. So we move to the literacy skills. IMT skills. Now, why they are IMT? You can see on the screen. Information literacy, understanding facts, figures, statistics, data. So that is I. Media literacy, understanding the methods and how or which information is published. Technology literacy, understanding the machines. See, जो स्कैम्स होते हैं, कहाँ हमारा रिसर्च पेपर कहाँ पब्लिश करवाना है, कहाँ नहीं करना. See, media is flooded with all kind of informations and misinformation. We have to teach our students, we have to share with them that how you can distinguish between the fake and the real. You have to be media literate. They are using their phones, they are using all kind of medias, but that doesn't mean that they are media literate. How they can filter the informations, how they can understand facts. Again, the use of technology, first we have to learn because we have to talk in their language. एक बच्चे को मैं नॉवेल पढ़ने के लिए बोलूंगी तो उसके लिए वो बोरिंग हो जाए. एक प्ले पढ़ने के लिए बोलूंगी तो अगर मैं मैकबेथ पढ़ा रही हूँ तो मैं उसको वही बोलूंगी कि बेटा मकबूल देख लो. हम लोग तो स्क्रीनिंग्स रखते हैं, मूवी स्क्रीनिंग्स इन द क्लास. तो वी वॉच मूवीज, मोटिवेशनल मूवीज, थोड़ी जो टेक्स्ट पे से एडेप्टेशंस है तो दे रिव्यू, दे लर्न अ लॉट फ्रॉम दैट. तो उसमें उनको बिल्कुल भी बोर्डम नहीं दिखता. सो वी हैव टू टॉक इन दैट लैंग्वेज. वो रिव्यू करेंगे, वो डिफरेंस बताएंगे मीडिया का और टेक्स्ट का. दे विल डू इट वॉलंटरीली. उसमें आप डब्बा पार्टी भी रख सकते हो. Bring your food, we will all eat together. For us, Saturday is a movie time. We watch movies together. And they volunteer for so many things, introducing the plot, giving the feedback of that, reviewing the movie. So slowly it works, not in the beginning. You have to be patient with them. Because earlier they have not done this in the school days. So we have to train them. Once they are into it, they enjoy it. Life skills. Of course, they are life skills, but still required skills for profession also. They are known as flips, flexibility, that is adaptability. See, in order to be dynamic, you have to be adaptable. जो बंधा रहेगा, वो जो नया कुछ नहीं लेगा, तो वो ग्रो ही नहीं कर सकता। हम सबको वो जापानीज टेक्निक मालूम है, केइजिन, कंटिन्यूअस पर्सनल एंड प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट। एनईपी भी बात करती है सस्टेनेबिलिटी, एनईपी बात करती है लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग। जो एसडीजी 4 है वो पूरा सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट। तो टीचर को और स्टूडेंट को कंटिन्यूअस लर्न करना है, तो एडेप्टेबल तो रहना ही पड़ेगा। अब मैं ये एज में हूं तो मैं ये नहीं कर सकती कि मैं वो नहीं कर सकता, दैट विल नॉट वर्क, because we have to understand their language. They don't have to come to us, now we have to go to them. So we have to talk in their language. We should know that what is their language, and if we try to explain that in that language, taking their influence, taking their movies, taking their song, they will be able to understand. Flexibility, that is adaptability. Leadership, we have varied leadership styles. We know what leadership is it and how it works socially, professionally. Person can be a transitional leader, a person can be a transformational leader, a person can be a servant leader, a person can be a charismatic leader, a person can be a Zifa leader. But leadership is important because you need to communicate your vision and mission to your team. You need to communicate your goals to your team. So leadership is important. Initiative. See, we all have this starting problem. हम करना चाहते हैं मगर वो जो डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म होता है ना साइकोलॉजी, वो हमको कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर नहीं आने देता। सब में ये डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है। कल सुबह रनिंग के लिए जाना है, वॉकिंग के लिए जाना है, अलार्म रखते, वर्कआउट के लिए कपड़े भी रखते, अगर जब सुबह होती है तो आज बहुत ठंड है, आज लेट नाइट हुई थी, कल से जाऊंगा, ये कल तो कौन रोकता है हमको, हम खुद ही रोकते, इनिशिएटिव नहीं ले पाते। मगर अगर एक किक स्टार्ट मिल गया, एक इकिगाई है हमारे पास, then obviously we'll be able to work successfully, walk in that direction. एक बहुत अच्छा, मुझे बहुत प्यारा वाक्य है इंग्लिश में, that when you know the why, you can endure anyhow. कुछ करना है, मालूम है क्या करना है, तो कैसे करना है अपने आप रास्ता मिल जाए। प्रोडक्टिविटी, मेंटेनिंग एफिशिएंसी इन एन एज ऑफ डिस्ट्रैक्शन, प्रोडक्टिव बनना। हम सब मल्टीटास्कर्स हैं, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, बैलेंस भी चाहिए, मगर बैलेंस होता नहीं है। वी आर लाइक दैट जगलर्स। तब एक ही थियरी याद रखनी है कि बहुत से ग्लासेस जगल कर रहे हो, बहुत से बॉल्स जगल कर रहे हो, जो भी कर रहे हो उसमें दो प्रकार के, कुछ शीशे के ग्लास है, कुछ प्लास्टिक के ग्लास। शीशे के गिर जाएंगे तो वापस नहीं उठा पाएंगे, प्लास्टिक के गिर जाएंगे तो हमारी प्रायोरिटी हमको मालूम होनी चाहिए कि किसको होल्ड करके रखना है। कुछ चीजें गिर जाए तो कुछ नहीं, बच्चों को भी बतानी है, हमको भी जाननी, तो ही प्रोडक्टिव बन सकते। मल्टीटास्किंग सब करते, करना भी चाहिए, मगर जो फोकस है, कहाँ प्रायोरिटाइज करना है वो मालूम। सोशल स्किल्स, मीटिंग एंड नेटवर्किंग विद अदर्स। सी, आज के जमाने में बिना नेटवर्क कोई बिजनेस नहीं चलता। बच्चों को सिखाना है, टिकट सिखानी है, नेटवर्क कैसे डेवलप करना है ये सिखाना है, हमको भी सीखना है। आप अपनी कॉलेज के सबसे अच्छे असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर है या एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर है, या सब जानते हैं आपको आपकी कॉलेज, अगर बाहर अगर आपकी विजिबिलिटी नहीं है तो आप वहीं इतने में ही हो जाएंगे, आप रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाएंगे, सीमित हो जाएंगे, उससे ऊपर नहीं जा पाएंगे। तो विजिबिलिटी क्रिएट करनी है, बच्चों को भी करनी है, हमको भी करनी है। तो वो कैसे होगी? नेटवर्किंग से ही होगी। अभी जो टाइम आ रहा है वो सब यंग टीचर्स के लिए तो बहुत चैलेंजिंग है। अगर स्किल नहीं डेवलप करेंगे, अगर वर्थ नहीं डेवलप करेंगे, अगर विजिबिलिटी नहीं डेवलप करेंगे, तो पीछे रहेंगे। एबीसी आई गेस अब सबको मालूम है, एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट्स कैसे काम करती है सबको मालूम है। सभी एमडीयू की तरफ है आज एनईपी पूरा, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटीज। तो उसमें बच्चों को हारा, तो अभी तो ये ट्राई और एरर बेस से हो रहा है, मगर 5 साल में दिखेगा है कि कितना चैलेंजिंग है यंग टीचर्स के लिए। सपोज करो एक बच्चा एक सब्जेक्ट का पेपर 1 यहां पढ़ रहा है और उसको समझ में आ गया कि कहीं और कॉलेज में कोई टीचर पेपर 2 बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा, तो ही और शी कैन ऑप्ट ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग के माध्यम से कि एक ही कॉलेज में एक ही कैंपस है तो इट्स मैनेजेबल, ही और शी हैज टू मैनेज। तो जहां जो पेपर आप पढ़ रहे हो इतनी फी भरोगे आप, वही आपकी बैंक है एकेडमिक। तो फिर कैसा आने वाला है 10 साल के बाद? इफ यू विजुअलाइज कि जो टीचर अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, जिसकी विजिबिलिटी है, परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड है, ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ ऐसे ही होगा, तो स्टूडेंट्स वहां ज्यादा आएंगे। माउथ टू माउथ पब्लिसिटी है, आपका परफॉर्मेंस ऑनलाइन देखा है, ऑफलाइन देखा, बच्चे बोलते हैं, उनको मालूम है, दे गिव दैट फीडबैक, दैट ऑनेस्ट फीडबैक। तो फिर क्या होता है? तो जहां टीचर्स इफेक्टिव है वो कॉलेज में, वो सब्जेक्ट में ज्यादा बच्चे एनरोल करेंगे, फीस ज्यादा मिलेगी। तो एक ही डिपार्टमेंट है, एक फैकल्टी के क्लासेस में बहुत बच्चे, दूसरा फैकल्टी है उसके पास कोई बच्चा नहीं, और हमको मालूम है दुनिया जो अर्निंग मेंबर है उनको ही ज्यादा रेपुटेड मानती। तो वो एक साइकोलॉजिकल एक प्रेशर आएगा टीचर, यंग टीचर्स में। तो आपको वो चैलेंज आगे जाके आने वाली, इफ यू आर नॉट फोर्सिंग। So you have to continuously learn, unlearn, relearn. Continuous learning, upgrade होना है, skills जाननी है, strategies जाननी है, बच्चों की भाषा को जानना है। So this is all about performance, a teacher's performance if we are talking about it. So that will help you. So these are the skills, the 3 kinds of skills: learning skills, then literacy skills, and then life skills. The 4 C's of learning, the IMTs and the flips. Now we move to, I will take 2 things. Sir, 5 बजे तक है ना आपका? It's still 5, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've got 30. Is it okay if I don't take the break? Or you want a break? आप तो वैसे भी ले सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं।
It's okay, ma'am. You can continue.
Yes, it's okay, ma'am.
If you need a break, we can have a break right now, because then I will begin something that I have to go with.
If you want a break for 5 minutes, you can take
You
because
can.
you are continuously speaking.
I have already spoke for 3 lectures in the college, right from 7:30.
So we have no problem. We can listen
No problem.
if you have no problem.
If you are interested, I am fine. I'm used to. Maybe I will take a sip of water. You can have your teas and coffees and can sit, relax. So these are the skills. And as a teacher, I guess we all should be aware of all these things. So now I'm moving to, as I started with Education 4.0, and we saw all the latest teaching techniques. So now you are aware about blended learning, as you had a session on that. So who will enlighten me with blended learning? Because I'm going to talk about blended. ऐसे में थोड़ा break लूंगी. We all are teachers. We are used to speaking. हिंदी में बोलिए, इंग्लिश में बोलिए. Language is not a. जी सर, कुछ कहना है आपको राजेश जी?
No, madam.
Okay. So language is not a barrier. कब हुआ था सेशन ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग का?
Last week हुआ था.
लर्निंग का ऐसा ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग का सेशन नहीं था, बट वो उसी में बताया था ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग के बारे में.
ओके, तो हम लेंगे उसमें, कोई बात नहीं अगर इट्स नॉट क्लियर. क्योंकि इफेक्टिव टीचिंग ट्रेंड्स जो आज है, तो उसमें वो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट मैं बात करती हूँ. अगर आपको लगे कि ये आपको मालूम है तो यू कैन टेल मी टू स्किप. तो बहुत सी और चीजें भी है डिस्कस करने की, ऐसा नहीं है. सो यू कैन टेल मी. So we know that with the rapid rise of technology in the 21st century, the technology vista is widening its horizons in the field of higher education. As technology has become an integral part of our everyday life, now it's time for us to cope with it and embrace technology in our teaching methods. At present, it's the urge of the day that we teachers accept, appreciate, and implement new learning methods, such as a blend of the traditional and technical learning. We need a blend. We need a fusion. This kind of blended learning will help us to reach and teach the students more effectively and efficiently. We'll be able to reach our students. We'll be able to teach our students. Because when teaching is blended with technology, it creates a more dynamic and active classroom environment. So if we talk about, if I give you a glimpse about what is blended learning, as you already know, let me share just a slide. It's a combination of online and face-to-face interactions. It bridges the gap between the traditional and digital learning techniques. It helps us to broaden our concept of confined classroom teaching. And such methods are helpful to maximize learning for all students. If I quote the definition of blended learning, Kotal has given authentic definition. I'll not read it because it's on the screen. You can look to that. Now, what is the goal of blended learning? As I told you, Education 4.0 is about student-centered learning. So this is the goal of blended learning, to promote student-centered learning by focusing on the learning aspect, which is possible when the online and traditional methods complement each other. When the teacher shifts his or her focus on learning from teaching, the teacher is able to push or pull the student from the traditional approach of just passing examination to the actual acquaintance of knowledge, which help them to digest and apply the concept wherever and whenever is needed. This is the goal of blended learning. as awakened educators, we should always try to be open and be ready to take initiatives towards the latest teaching techniques. So, this is Kotal's process model for blended learning. The purpose is to absorb, to gain knowledge, to do, engage in activities, and connect. That is, apply knowledge to real world situation. Absorb, do, connect. Now, these are the blended learning models. There are many, but these models are effective in higher education. Face-to-face driver model, where student is face-to-face, but one of the part is online. The rotation model, here there are various modalities of learning. A student comes to the class, then from class he may go to the library, from library to the playground, from there to some language lab. So here one modality is online. The self-blend model. This is for the students who take additional online courses to enrich them. See, personally, I always motivate my students for this. I tell them with a very simple example. First, I'll go and ask in the class that which is your favorite pizza? Obviously, they will say. Then I will ask the second question, that how the taste and price of pizza increases. With what? The pizza becomes tasty by what?
Toppings.
Toppings. And also the price also increases with toppings. You have added 2 more toppings, you have added 3 more toppings. So your degree is your that base of pizza. And your certifications are your toppings. In this world, in this competitive world, you have to adopt this self-blend model where you are taking your traditional education in your institution, in your college, but at the same time, you are doing various certifications. For example, I motivate my students to take the content writing course online. On Swayam, there are many. If the student is from accountancy, tally, and whatever, from management, there are a number of courses. So every year, what I do, I motivate them from the very first year, and I am practicing it. So I'm telling. From the first year, I introduce them to the MOOCs, massive open online courses. And they will enroll themselves. We will make a WhatsApp group of all the students enrolled. They will share their tutorials many a times. When there is a quiz or whatever, they will share the marks or that answers also, whatever. But yes, they learn. They discuss that. And by the end, after 4 months, they give their exam. So in one semester, or I may say even in 1 year, if they go for one certification, it's a value addition. And they have to check the credits. Some are 2 credit courses, some are 4 credit courses. So go to the 4 credit, which can be the topping of your pizza, of your degree. It's your duty as a teacher to guide them. See, I always talk about content writing is very much in these days. It's for social media, it's for advertisement or wherever. So they will earn while they learn. I enroll them in courses where they prepare the CVs. See, if we prepare one CV from Naukri.com or somewhere, I guess, I don't know, you know, they take more than 15,000 rupees for one CV. I tell them to prepare CVs, at least prepare free for your family. Then start with charges 100 rupees, 200 rupees. I teach them techniques. They have to just change certain things. How to take the online format. Again, they can go for the course if the teacher is not interested, but they can guide them. So they will earn while they learn and from their home. They don't have to go anywhere. Few of my girl students, they're doing so nicely with this. They go with translations. They take the typing assignments. See, to translate one word, at least 4 rupees per word. 4 rupees minimum. And for certain languages, it is 7 rupees per. If you develop this skill, so self-blend model is this. You have your degree pizza, you add your toppings, buy your certificate. Flexible model course, it's two-way. You take online or offline blended learning, both way it is possible. The online driver model where everything mostly is done online. But if there are some doubts, there is a faculty who can solve that, but that also through your Google Meet or Zoom platform or order. The flipped classroom will be discussing in detail, so I'm not taking it present. And the blended MOOC. Students learning from the MOOC platforms where they have the material, where everything is online, and they earn their certifications. So these are the models that are working at present very effective. Face-to-face driver model is very much like traditional class, but yes, the teacher is taking the PPT in the classroom. The teacher is showing some short video in the classroom. So within the class, but some online activity, virtual activity is done. So that way, so this is how the blended learning models works in higher education. Now we move to the key drivers of blended learning, how they work. They improve the ability to personalize instruction, improve potential for individual growth, improve student engagement and motivation, extend the effective reach of teachers, prepare for online state assessments, improve working conditions. So these are the key drivers of blended learning, whatever type you are taking, because these are the outcomes. Now we move to flipped learning. I guess you all are aware that what is flipped learning. Because recently the concept of flipped learning, also known as online drive, has become a buzzword in the field of higher education as a unique pedagogical tool which has brought up a radical change wherein the educator flips the classroom instructions around. Sab ulta hai, we know what is a flip. तो रेगुलर टीचिंग में लर्निंग में क्या होता है, पहले हम पढ़ाते हैं. सपोज करो मैथ्स के टीचर है तो मतलब थोड़ा थियरी है, जो प्रैक्टिकल है, कुछ एग्जांपल्स आप क्लास में दोगे, आप सॉल्व करवाओगे, फिर आप होमवर्क दोगे. ग्रामर है सपोज, तो मैं पहले वर्ब क्या है तो वर्ब उनको सिखाऊंगी, आर्टिकल सिखाऊंगी, थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस एक्सरसाइजेस कराऊंगी, फिर 2-4 एक्सरसाइज घर पे दूंगी. दिस इज द ट्रेडिशनल वे दैट वी टीच एंड देन वी गिव होमवर्क. यहां ये फ्लिप है, पहले हम होमवर्क देंगे फिर बाद में पढ़ाएंगे तो क्या डिस्कस करेंगे. सो दिस इज अ फ्लिप. तो फ्लिप लर्निंग क्या है, तो आपके पास ये डेफिनेशन है. तो देयर आर 4 पिलर्स ऑफ फ्लिप्ड लर्निंग. वो 4 पिलर्स क्या है, So let me share the pillars, how they work. Entire flip learning concept works on these 4 pillars: flexible environment, learning culture, intentional content, and professional educators. तो ये क्या है? फ्लेक्सिबल एनवायरमेंट भी अंडरस्टैंड, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है क्लास में, वहां टीचर अपने स्टूडेंट्स की मर्यादा को ध्यान में रख के, लिमिटेशंस को ध्यान में रख के अपना लेसन प्लान करे। फिर एक लर्निंग कल्चर डेवलप करना पड़ता है। टीचर को आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा कि उनका लेवल क्या है, उनकी कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटीज क्या है, उनका सोशो इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस क्या है, उनकी लैंग्वेज प्रोफिशिएंसी क्या है। मैं पहले दिन क्लास में जाके पूरा क्लास 1 घंटा इंग्लिश में पढ़ा हूं एक्चुअल एक्सेंट से, तो बच्चों दे आर लाइक स्पेल बाउंड, उनको लगता है ये कोई एलियन आया है। 1 हफ्ते में पूरा ड्रॉप आउट रेट बढ़ जाए। इंग्लिश के क्लास में बच्चों को रिटेन करने के लिए पहले जो भी लैंग्वेज है, हमारे यहाँ गुजराती है तो उसमें बोलना पड़ता है। पहले उनको एक वो तरीके से हमको एक एनवायरनमेंट डेवलप करके एक लर्निंग कल्चर डेवलप करना पड़ता है। फिर होता है इंटेंशनल कंटेंट, तो उसमें टीचर को द टीचिंग, लेसन, असेसमेंट प्लान्स, वो सब उनको ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों क्यूरेट करने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि उसमें बिफोर क्लास प्री क्लास एक्टिविटी भी आएगी, इन क्लास एक्टिविटी भी आएगी, पोस्ट क्लास एक्टिविटी भी आएगी। देन कम्स द प्रोफेशनल एजुकेटर। सो टीचर शुड नो द टीचिंग मटेरियल। अब मुझे एक वीडियो दिखाना है, वो ऐसे वीडियो तो नहीं है, मुझे यूट्यूब पे से सर्च करना पड़ेगा कि मुझे कौन सा वीडियो दिखाना है, क्योंकि मेरा इंटेंशन, मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव वोकैब बिल्ड करना है। तो आई हैव टू रिसर्च, see, I have to walk that extra mile. I'm using this deliberately, I guess more than 2 times I have used the word. This is not only difficult for student, but in the beginning it's also difficult. Flipper class, लोगों को लगता है हाँ दे दिया, टीचर को कुछ करना नहीं है, टीचर को बहुत कुछ करना। So here, यहाँ ऐसी एक्टिविटीज हमको क्यूरेट करनी पड़ेगी, बच्चों को फैसिलिटेट करना पड़ेगा। So then and then, professional educator. So flipped learning is getting popular globally. And this new concept is engrossing and gaining momentum in the field of higher education, as it has the capacity to transform the entire concept of teaching. So this is flipped learning, and we'll go to the stages of flipped learning. अब flip करना है क्लास, बहुत क्विकली 15 मिनट में बताऊंगी। 4 स्टेजेस है, कैसे फ्लिप करना है। कहना आसान है, मगर उसको प्रैक्टिस में रखना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। ये स्टेजेस है। ट्रेनिंग द टीचर फॉर अ फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम, एक्वेंट स्टूडेंट्स विद द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम। पहले तो हमको ट्रेन होना पड़ेगा ना, ये कैसे करना है। फिर बच्चों को एक्वेंट करना पड़ेगा, फिर अप्रोप्रिएट टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करनी पड़ेगी, और इफेक्टिव फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम मैनेजमेंट भी सीखना। तो टीचर्स को कैसे ट्रेन करो। तो we know that human nature, with the use of ICT tools in the class, we all are very adaptable and acquainted with the modern technology. And this acquaintance has made us realize that technology is to support us and not to replace us. See, वो डर निकाल दीजिए कि टेक्नोलॉजी हमको रिप्लेस कर। We use it properly, they cannot replace us. So we have to overcome that fear first. The increasing popularity of this innovative and updated teaching techniques has created some kind of inner pressure in today's teacher to integrate technology in their teaching to meet the expectations of the student and society. आज मैंने आपसे पूछा आप कौन सी टेक्निक यूज कर रहे हो क्लास में, कल नेक्स्ट टीम आएगी तो वो भी पूछेगी. आप जब आपका अप्राइजल भरते हो, आई डोंट नो आपके हर साल भराते हैं कि नहीं, हमारे यहाँ भराते हैं, तो उसमें कॉलम ही है ये साल आपने कौन सी टेक्निक्स यूज की. तो अगर आपको टेक्निक्स के नाम ही नहीं मालूम है, आपको अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है, तो हमेशा आप एक ही लिखोगे चॉक डस्टर पावर पॉइंट. So you have to learn this. So because we have to fulfill the expectations of the society. Apart from that, it's the basic instinct of human nature to try for constant betterment. मैंने occasion की बात की कि हमेशा व्यक्ति को डायनेमिक रहने के लिए एडेप्टेबल होके लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग की आवश्यकता पड़ती है सब. So first, the teacher should be very clear about his or her goal of teaching and should not be to prepare the students for passing the examination. See, this is not your goal. We have seen in blended. But help them acquire knowledge and skills which will help them bring out their inner potential and will practically guide them to face any challenge in the actual. You have to prepare them. So with this clarity and determination, the teacher has to update with the new technology and teaching methodology so that they can integrate the best blend for a flipped. And of course, teachers should also learn how to utilize flip strategies to use technology effectively in the class. They have to work hard and have to be super prepared for material designing according to the syllabus. Syllabus तो हम नहीं choose कर सकते, वो तो यूनिवर्सिटी से आता है, मगर उसको हम अपने हिसाब से अपने बच्चों के लेवल से कैसे उसको फिल्टर कर सकते, वो हम कर सकते. So it's all about collaboration. You can collaborate with your peer. If you want your students to collaborate, you also must collaborate. You should share things. See, sharing matters. It enriches you. So that should be the positive attitude of the teacher, to be adaptable, to be open to new teaching and learning methods, to the latest techniques that are working globally. See, local is a new trend, the combination of local and global. So we may not say that, oh, we are in the tribal belt, so our students will be tribal for lifetime. We can give them that global taste. We can give them that global environment in our, by just blending the local with the global. We can have that global. The next stage is acquainting student with the concept. That is also very important. See, also, if this is new for us, it's also new for our teachers. As we all are learning, so we should make our students understand. Proper understanding of that concept will help them understand the purpose of actual and active learning in an inverted way. This is an inverted kind of learning. So our purpose is to reach and bring out the best from our students. And as modern generation is very much acquainted, I told you they are digital natives. So they are very comfortable with their mobiles, laptops, tablets for accessing knowledge. They are faster than us in using ChatGPT or Capilot or whatever. So they will surely be comfortable with the flip method. Now, as I told you earlier, these students are comfortable in watching videos than reading a text. So obviously, surfing the net for information and finding solution is their way. And so with this approach, they have become expert in decoding the information. So this is their mindset. This is their social habit. So for the flipped classroom, the task should be introduced clearly to the student. So that will help them understand the online content. Then as an out of class activity, the teacher should share some relevant online content in the form of YouTube video or short PowerPoint or podcast to absorb knowledge. See, now you will think that on what medium I will share. Google Meet, Zoom. See, a simple WhatsApp is in. Nothing is required. Just have a simple WhatsApp group. It will help you. So share. I will give you the steps that how will flip. So this sharing should be followed by some online quiz or short question to help them understand the key objective. After that, the teacher should access the learning through the online meals with the quiz and everything, obviously. So such pre-class assessment will help the teacher. This is all online, pre-class. We have given the video. We can tell them that whatever you have done, if you are not knowing the words, go to the dictionary, look at the words. If you are not knowing the pronunciation, go to the pronouncing dictionary. We are not spoon feeding them. They're doing on their own. Then you can throw some short questions on the WhatsApp group. Tell them to use voice messages or voice chat. First, when they are seeing the video, what is happening? The listening skill is developing. Their observation skill is developing. Then tell them to answer through voice message. The speaking skill is getting better. Give some open-ended questions. Just type it.
बच्चे भी ये बैग भी ले रहे ऑटो में ही
So you can do that. तो वो उनकी राइटिंग स्किल भी डेवलप होगी अच्छी तरीके से. सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप होगा, लर्निंग डेवलप होगा, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग डेवलप होगी, कम्युनिकेशन डेवलप होगा, लिसनिंग डेवलप होगा. और फिर कुछ ऐसे कॉम्प्रिहेंशन टाइप क्वेश्चंस जो आपके फील्ड के जो यू हैव टू डिजाइन ऑन दैट योर ओन, तो वो रीडिंग स्किल्स भी डेवलप हो जाएगी. सो वी डेवलप दैट थिंग्स इन दैट. Because Flip is focusing on your learners by involving them in the process. We have to involve them. उसके लिए appropriate technology चाहिए. You have to curate resources. आज के जमाने में सबके पास डेटा प्लान तो है ही. कोई भी एरिया में बच्चा रहता है, थैंक्स टू जियो और व्हाटएवर नेटवर्क, मतलब कनेक्टिविटी है. See, in the beginning, a teacher can create his or her own PowerPoint and can translate the lecture into online content. कर सकते हैं. Zoom भी 40 मिनट्स तक फ्री देता है, Google Meet तो फ्री है. Microsoft Teams पे तो हमने काम किया है. So you can prepare a PowerPoint online lecture. See, if you feel that it's getting boring, the lecturing style, then include elements like animations, puzzle solving, quiz to capture the students' attention in between. So it is the duty of the teacher, but to create something interesting and authentic. Your goal is to complete your syllabus. So you have to work on that only. Again, there are tools like Camtasia that you can use to convert the presentation into short video of 10-12 minutes. Or you can search from YouTube. See, many teachers ask that for our college, learning, this funding is a problem. So we cannot use paid services. But of course, there are few cloud-based services like Canvas, Blackboard, modular object-oriented dynamic learning environment, जिसको Moodle बोलते हैं, D2L, which are available at very nominal rate. But even if this is not possible, then there are so many services which we can use free of cost. गूगल से कर सकते हैं, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट से कर सकते हैं, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस 365 है, गूगल तो क्लासरूम से लेके गूगल डॉक्स, गूगल ड्राइव, गूगल मीट, गूगल फॉर्म्स, गूगल हैंगआउट, ये सबका हम फ्री में यूज कर सकते हैं. अब तो व्हाट्सएप में रिकॉर्डिंग है ही, पहले पैडलेट व्हाट्सएप को वैसे कुछ डिवाइसेस यूज करते थे, अब हमको वो जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत ज्यादा, कोई भी एलएमएस लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम हमको यूज करनी चाहिए. तो जैसे व्हाट्सएप तो कर ही रहे हैं, मगर अगर आपको तो फर्दर कुछ ऐसे साइट से लाइक edmodo.com, ngrade.com जो फ्री है और यूजर फ्रेंडली, you can use them and can organize a flipped classroom through that. So पूरा ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्लास करने के लिए एलएमएस जरूरी, because the appropriate use of technology in sharing content needs lot of creativity, thinking and effort on the side of the teacher. So the final stage is effective flipped classroom management. अब क्यों मैनेजमेंट इफेक्टिव होना चाहिए? क्योंकि यहां बहुत ज्यादा चैलेंजेस है और ये बहुत ज्यादा डिमांडिंग होने वाला है. प्री क्लास एक्टिविटी के बाद जब इन क्लास एक्टिविटी आती है तो टीचर को वो इंटेंशनल कंटेंट के साथ वो मैक्सिमम क्लास टाइम है वो यूज करना है, द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द नॉलेज. द टीचर हैज टू flip the role here from an instructor to a researcher to understand each student's learning ability. So this you have to take care of that. तो ही इफेक्टिव क्लासरूम मैनेजमेंट, क्योंकि कोई स्लो लर्नर होगा, कोई फास्ट लर्नर होगा, सब एक तरीके से नहीं होंगे. तो वी हैव टू मैच दैट. वो पीछे रह जाएंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा साइकोलॉजिकल इश्यूज आएंगे, तो उनके साथ हमको रहना पड़ेगा. So the teacher enters the flipped classroom by shifting his front of the class position, and he has to be the part of सिटिंग अरेंजमेंट चेंज करनी पड़ेगी. स्टेज पे खड़े रह के बैठ के आप फ्लिप नहीं कर सकते. और इससे क्या होगा, एक अच्छा साइकोलॉजिकल जेस्चर आएगा, एक अच्छा इफेक्ट आएगा. स्टूडेंट विल नॉट बी स्कैर्ड ऑफ यू, क्योंकि उनको फ्रेंड लगेगा टीचर बाजू में, तो दे विल आस्क देयर डाउट्स. सो ये स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली एनवायरनमेंट हमको क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. हमारी सिटिंग अरेंजमेंट से, हमारे साइकोलॉजिकल वो ट्रीटमेंट्स उनको दे के, उनको चीयर करके, अप्रिशिएट करके. बट एट द सेम टाइम the teacher should continuously observe, connect and make sure that no one is left behind. So it's your responsibility. So such effective, ये क्लास थोड़ा नॉइजी रहेगा. लेट मी टेल यू, ये बहुत ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम नहीं है, क्योंकि बच्चे अपने अपने ग्रुप में काम कर. कहीं कोई बाहर से आएगा तो लगेगा कि ये क्या है, कोई यहां से उठ के यहां जा रहा है, किसके हाथ में फोन है, किसी के हाथ में लैपटॉप है, बट यू हैव परमिटेड, सो दे विल यूज. तो ये नॉइजी क्लास है, मगर ये प्रैक्टिकल इंप्लीमेंटेशन वाला क्लास है. वो सन्नाटा नहीं है. दे आर नॉट पैसिव लिसनर्स, दे आर एक्टिवली वर्किंग. So obviously this is going to happen, but with your motivation. See, सभी सॉफ्टवेयर, कोई भी हार्डवेयर हो या कोई भी सॉफ्टवेयर हो, उससे ऊपर एक ह्यूमन वेयर है. That are we. So we can change. We can change so many things. भगवान ने हमको ये पोजीशन दी है, तो we can change the future of our country. The future of our country is in our hands. We have that moral responsibility. So I guess we all should take it very seriously. And that is how, as a teacher, we can create this dynamic, active learning environment. And it is with interdependence and not independence. We can contribute and not compete and help our students grow. So let us take that way. And I conclude here the session. Still miles to go. Maybe sometime it will meet. So I have tried to just focus on the techniques, the strategies, and I guess I was able to share the glimpse of what at present is happening or what NEP is expecting from the young teachers of higher education. So thank you so much for being so patient. We have continued without break. So I appreciate that and wish you a successful completion of your FIP. Thank you so much. It's open for questions if they are. And I'm sure sometime, somewhere, I'll see one of you applying the technique and your visibility somewhere. So best wishes for that. So it's 5. I know as teachers, thank you for all your messages. Thank you, Pranavji. Thank you, Geetaji.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
यदि कुछ डिस्कशन
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, for such incredible insights you gave
Thank you,
us.
ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
मनीषा
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
मनीषा क्या बोल
Ma'am, I have one question, ma'am.
फिर बोलती हूँ.
Ma'am, I have one query, ma'am.
Sure. कौन बोल रहा है पहले मुझे दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. So I cannot tell you name.
Ma'am, Adil Hamid बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ जी, बोलिए जी.
Ma'am, what is the best way to improve the teaching learning process for a teacher particularly in this technological world when the technological advancement has taken over all the domains of life? What is the best way to become a good teacher that's productive teacher?
Yes, Adilji, as I told you in the beginning, it varies from a discipline to discipline, but the best way is to connect with your heart, with your
Particularly in science field, ma'am.
Okay, so I am sorry to say, but I am not from the science field. But yes, you have more ways to connect, especially
Okay.
with technology. You can implement things. You have your practical labs to do that. So I
Yes,
guess
ma'am, I was also
Ma'am,
going to
there
discuss
is
this
one
thing.
one
Adil,
problem is there. Most of the
one by
students
one,
are
please.
not most of the students are not aware of the new technologies, so it becomes tough to provide them to utilize the modern technology in the classroom situation.
As I told you, it takes a lot of patience from the teacher's side. You have to acquaint them, you have to work with them, you have to hold their hand. Maybe in few days, in few weeks, you will be fed up, like nothing is working. But you have to be patient. But slowly, because see, till 12th standard, they have not studied this way.
Yes, ma'am.
And even all the teachers are not teaching this way.
Okay.
But what I say in my class is that, see, I talk in their language and I tell them that this is your romantic lecture.
Okay.
Why? Because the meaning of romance is a deviation from the monocity of life.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have all kind of similar kind of lectures in the similar ways, traditional ways. So when you come to my class, it's a romantic lecture. So enjoy
Okay.
the romance, and they really
Okay.
enjoy. So slowly
Thank
it will work. It needs a preparation as well as patience. Both the P's work for a teacher.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sometimes we
Thank
have
you,
to
ma'am.
play also.
मनीषा
Thank you, ma'am.
सर
मनीषा
मैं वही बात डिस्कस कर रही थी जो आदिल ने मैम से करी ना कि प्रैक्टिकल के लिए साइंस स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कैसे करेंगे। तो जो मैम ने कहा कि कोलैबोरेटिव लर्निंग और वो, तो मैं अपने एमएससी के स्टूडेंट्स के साथ सर ये काम लास्ट ईयर से मैंने स्टार्ट किया था कि मैं प्रैक्टिकल्स के लिए उनके ग्रुप बना देती हूँ। फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में तो नहीं, लेकिन थर्ड सेमेस्टर में जब तक उनको थोड़ा सा रिसर्च पेपर्स कुछ उनको ढूंढना सिखा देते हैं, फिर उनको मैं प्रैक्टिकल्स के क्वेश्चंस लिखवाती हूँ कि हाँ यू हैव टू डू दैट प्रैक्टिकल, लेकिन आपको नया प्रोटोकॉल ढूंढ के लाना है, नया प्रोसीजर ढूंढ के लाना है, आप ढूंढ के लेके आओगे, मुझसे डिस्कस करोगे, देन यू विल परफॉर्म इट द लैब एंड देन शो मी द रिजल्ट्स। और ग्रुप्स बना के फिर ग्रुप शिफ्ट करने हैं बाद में कि किसके रिजल्ट्स बेटर आए हैं, किसके नहीं आए हैं। तो इस बार मुझे थोड़ा बच्चों का रिजल्ट अभी तक इतना अच्छा नहीं मिला, क्योंकि कुछ बच्चे लीनियंट हो जाते हैं बाद में कि हाँ दूसरों से कॉपी कर लेंगे, ये कर लेंगे। लेकिन लग रहा है कि धीरे धीरे मतलब अगर 50% भी अगर इस क्लास में ग्रास्प कर गए तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में बच्चे और ग्रास्प
वो
करेंगे।
एक टेक्निक ही है, वो जो आप बोल रहे हैं एस्केप रूम्स वाली टेक्निक है, वो इतनी इफेक्टिवली जाती नहीं है, क्योंकि हम बच्चों को वो टाइम देते कि चलो क्लास में मत बैठ, आप लैब में जाके अपना जो भी है सॉल्यूशन लाओ, कहीं लाइब्रेरी में जाके, तो वो उसका फायदा भी उठाते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है। बट स्टिल 50 स्टूडेंट्स है तो 20 स्टूडेंट्स तो ऐसे है, दे विल वर्क। सो दैट इज अवर पर्पस, वी कैन नॉट जस्ट टेक 100 टुगेदर।
यस मैम।
एंड आई विल
और
बी हैप्पी, क्योंकि पहले भी मैंने बोला कि आप सब अपनी टीचिंग स्टाइल यहाँ मतलब शेयर कीजिए। तो इतने लोग है सर, आई डोंट नो कितना है स्ट्रेंथ आपका, मगर जो भी 30 है 40, आई डोंट नो, यहाँ दिख नहीं रहा है।
83
82 है, 82 तो कुछ निकल जाए तो भी 75 से ज्यादा तो है। तो इतनी टेक्निक्स तो मिलेगी, इतनी स्ट्रेटेजीज तो मिलेगी। अगेन दिस इज इंटरडिपेंडेंस, तो यहां से ही शुरू करते हैं, कुछ आपका सुने कुछ हमारा कहे, तो उससे वो ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग होगा एक दूसरे को, मतलब हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स भी बताएंगे, प्रॉब्लम्स बताएंगे तो कुछ सॉल्यूशंस भी लाएंगे। तो ऐसे ही टेक्निक्स डेवलप होती है ट्राई और एरर मेथड से।
और कोई? चलिए, थैंक यू नेहा मैडम, थैंक यू सो मच।
So much sir for inviting me,
थैंक यू
and
मैम।
I'm really thankful to all these active participants. बहुत अच्छा लगा देख के। कई
Thank
बार
you,
तो ऐसा
ma'am.
लगता है
Thank
सर
you.
के मतलब खाली कैमरा के सामने बोल रहे हैं, मगर आज बहुत अच्छा लगा देख के कि यस, they were nodding, they were responding. So all credit goes to you sir, to keep them occupied even in the I've overheard certain conversations of yours, so it's like a family for you.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a great evening. So
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
ये लो, ऑनलाइन आप रहते हो, थैंक यू मेरे को मिल जाता।